Yeah, but the real question that you got to ask is, are you better or worse mentally, physically, financially, relationally, emotionally? Are you better or worse than you were 10 years ago? Because see, it's not the suddenness. Nothing happens to us suddenly. It's over time because of erosion. We start making these small adjustments, these small exceptions, and it doesn't seem like much in the moment, but it matters, man. When you chop it all up, you start sleeping in a little longer, you stay up a little later, you begin making exceptions when you go eat out, you drink a little bit more, you work out a little bit less, you work a little less harder. And see, in the moment, it doesn't seem like much, does it? And then you wake up and you're like, what the fuck happened? That's what happened. It's what happened to me. Over a 15-year period, I gained 60 pounds. 60 pounds. And you look at those kind of situations and you're like, how in the hell did it even happen? It didn't happen all at once. I didn't go to bed one night at 2:15 and wake up the following morning at 275. 4 pounds a year. It's a quarter pound a month. And when you start making these exceptions, you start moving the baseline. The baseline begins to move and you stop keeping track of the numbers. Every now and then you get on the scale, you look at it, you're like, it's a quarter pound, it's not that much. You make exceptions, baseline moves out. Get on the scale again, make an exception. Well, after the holidays, I'm gonna do it. It's an exception. Your exceptions come with excuses. So your narrative begins to change. And when that narrative changes, so do the results. Because you start justifying what you got going on. COVID came in, got sick, I had to work longer. The good news is you can transform your life anytime you want to. But really, you can radically change things up. And a good way to do that is to walk back that 10 years and say, am I better or worse right now? Like I'm in year 9 of my weight loss and I took stock in it. Am I better or worse than I was 9 years ago? Almost 10. In some departments, I'm better. In others, the physical part of it wasn't. See, this is that stake in the ground where I was able to put my foot down and say, whoa, hold up. What have you started tolerating? What habits, what tendencies are you feeding? When you put your stake in the ground and you look at these things, you can sit there and say, yeah, see it. And then you make the adjustment. This way, life doesn't get away from you. And I say 10 years. I mean, 10 years is that radical shift. But if you want to do it sooner than that, certainly you can. I think if you do it every year, it's probably not a bad thing. But every 10 years, man, you definitely want to say, wait a minute, where am I at? And in 6 points, mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, relationally, those 6 points, each one of them, am I better or worse than I was 10 years ago? And make the adjustment.